CELPIP speaking task. 3. 4. Describing a scene. Let me try to describe the picture I am looking at. It is the scene of a farmer's market where many people are shopping. At the center of the picture, there is a couple who walk the dog. In front of them, I see a woman who walks with a kid. She is so happy because of the kid has come together with her. On the left side of the foreground, a woman is holding on to an eggplant. In the left side of the background, a lady with a grocery bag is just entering into the marketplace. There is a meat store under the market banner, and a butcher is listening to a customer. The fruit store is located right beside. People look busy and happy at the market as usual. Let me try to describe the picture I am looking at. I see a picture of a farmer's market where there are a lot of people doing various activities, shopping. On the left side of the foreground, I see a woman holding a vegetable. Beside, I see some vegetable sample displayed on the stand for sale. At the front right, there is a woman who stands at the banana store. She is going to buy a bundle of banana for her children. Right behind her, I see a woman who walks with a kid. She is so happy because of the kid has come together with her. On the left behind, I see a man walking with his wife in front of the fresh fruit store. As they come together with a dog, suddenly, the dog sees something and start running, so they couldn't help running with it. In this picture, I think that people in urban life look busy and happy. Task 4. It looks like several things are about to happen in this picture. I think the vegetables will be sold out soon because they are super fresh. The woman holding a vegetable will finally decide to buy the vegetable for cooking. The woman carrying a stroller will look for any available benches to take a rest because she feels totally exhausted. The woman looking at some bananas will finally decide to go to another fruit store because the bananas are expensive. The woman pointing at some meat will ask the staff to slice the meat because the meat is too bulky. The couple taking a walk with a dog will go to the coffee shop to talk. The fruits will be on sale now because the farmer's market is closing soon. The woman browsing the fruits will ask the staff about the price of the fruits. That is all. Let me try to describe the picture I am looking at. I see a picture of a very busy street where there are many people doing various activities. On the left side of the picture, there is a hot dog stand with a sign that says hot dogs. A vendor is behind the counter, and a woman in a blue shirt is standing right in front of the stand. 2 dogs are on the ground near his feet. Beside, I see a woman buying a hot dog, while ketchup on her shirt's in front of hot dog stand. She seems distressed because there's a couple of dogs seem to be about to get fight in her back. In the upper right area, there are several construction workers in yellow hard hats. One of them is holding a stop sign, and they seem to be working near some kind of construction equipment. In the upper left corner, there's just been a car accident. Maybe it's because the front car stopped suddenly. On the bottom of right side, I see a woman in an orange jacket holding out flyers. In this picture, I think that people in urban life look busy and nervous. What do you think will happen next? Think several things are likely to happen next in this scene. First of all, the 2 drivers involved in the car accident will probably get out of their cars and start arguing, and one of them might call the police. The construction workers will most likely stop the traffic completely. This will probably make the traffic situation even worse. The woman who is buying a hot dog looks quite distressed because there are a couple of dogs behind her that seem to be getting into a fight. The woman with the flyers at the bottom right will probably head back to her office, as she seems to have already finished handing them out. Overall, I think this picture shows that people living in urban areas tend to look very busy and stressed out in their daily lives. Let me try to describe the picture I am looking at. I see a picture of bus stop on what appears to be wet, where there are a lot of people doing various activities. On the left, I see a man in a yellow shirt, reading a book while walking to the bus stop pole. Beside, I see a man looking at the man while folding his arms. In the middle, I see a woman sitting on the bench inside the bus shelter while checking her watch. To the right of the bench, I see 3 kids playing with each other. On the far right, I see a bus number, 99, approaching the bus stop, and its doors appear to be open. At the back, I see a woman taking a walk with a dog on leash. In this picture, I think that people in urban life look busy and nervous. That is all. I think a few interesting things are likely to happen next. The bus on the right will probably open its doors fully, and the people at the stop will start boarding. The small dog behind the bench is likely to keep causing trouble. The woman on the bench looks very uncomfortable, and she will probably try to move away from the dog or ask its owner to control it. The group of children near the right side of the shelter seem to be arguing or fighting over something. The man in the yellow shirt will most likely walk straight into a pillar, despite the other man's warning. Overall, I think this picture shows that everyday life in a city can be surprisingly chaotic and unpredictable, even at an ordinary bus stop. That is all. I see a picture of a department store, where there are a lot of people doing various activities. In the upper left corner, there is a furniture section with a sale sign. Several pieces of furniture, including beds and tables, are on display in that area. Just below the furniture section on the left side, a store employee in a white shirt and tie is assisting a child who is trying on shoes. Several shoe boxes are scattered on the floor around them. In the far left corner at the bottom, there are various toys on the ground, including animals, dolls, and building blocks. A young girl in a purple outfit is sitting on the floor among the toys. In the center of the scene, there is a shoe display section with a sign that reads, "Shoes." A young girl in a pink dress is browsing through the clothes on the rack. In the upper center, there are change rooms with separate signs for men and women. A child is walking toward the change room area. On the right side of the picture, there is a cashier station with a female employee behind the counter. In this picture, I think that people in urban life look busy and nervous. That is all. It looks like several things are about to happen in this picture. I think the furniture will be stored in the warehouse for the next season. The store employee in the shoe section on the left will most likely finish, helping the child and then bring out a few more shoe boxes for the customer to try. The shoes will be replaced with the new brand. The young girl browsing the clothing rack in the center will probably pick out 1 or 2 items and head toward the change rooms or the cashier. At the cashier station on the right, the employee will likely begin processing a purchase. The woman walking to the change room will call the staff to clean up the change rooms because they are messed up. The man going up on the escalator will look for the sports equipment section to buy some golf clubs. That is all. Let me try to describe the picture I am looking at. I see a picture of farmer's market, where there are a lot of people doing various activities. On the left, I see a staff selling ice cream at the blue cart. At the back, on the left, I see a woman in pink dress sweeping the floor with broom. Behind the woman, there are a lot of products displayed on the stand for sale. In the lower left area, there is an ice cream cart with a large blue umbrella over it. In the middle, I see a girl jumping rope. At the front of her, I see a woman leaving the farmer's market with shopping bags. On the right, I see a young girl in a red jacket feeding a donkey with a carrot. At the back on the right, I see many kinds of products displayed on the stand for sale. In this picture, I think that people in urban life look busy and happy. That is all. It looks like several things are about to happen in this picture. I think the woman selling ice cream will probably clean up her cart, as she seems to have sold out of ice cream. The woman at the back may slip and fall, because the ground looks wet and slippery. The girl in the orange skirt will likely run away from the horse due to its unpredictable behavior. The girl in the center with the shopping bag looks like she has already done some shopping, and she will probably head over to the fresh fruit stall. The woman who is feeding the horse will probably rush back to find her purse, as she may have left it somewhere in the market. The horse approaching the carrot basket will most likely eat all the carrots, as it appears to be very hungry. The produce at the stall will probably sell out quickly, because everything looks very fresh and appealing. That is all. Let me try to describe the picture I am looking at. I see a picture of food festival where there are a lot of people doing various activities. On the left, I see a staff selling curry bowl at the food stall. Beside, I see a woman with a red handbag looking at the food on display. At the front in the middle, I see a girl walking with younger brother, and the boy is holding 2 orange tickets. In the middle, I see a boy holding a smoothie at the smoothie stall. Beside, I see a man buying kebab with a girl who is looking surprised while pointing at a dog. In the foreground, a girl in a pink top and a younger child are walking together, and the younger child appears to be holding a small piece of food. On the right, I see an elderly couple having a date. Behind, I see a man trying to stop the dog's behavior, and I see a dog trying to eat a food on the street. At the back of the picture, I see a lot of people gathering under the white tents. In this picture, I think that people in urban life look busy and happy. That is all. It looks like several things are about to happen in this picture. The staff at the curry bowl stall will probably pack the curry to go for a waiting customer. The woman at the curry bowl stall may start to panic because she might have left her wallet at home. The girl walking with her younger brother will likely stop by the smoothie stall to get a delicious smoothie for him. The boy holding the tickets will burst into tears because he accidentally drops his smoothie. The man trying to control his dog will probably look for a nearby bench to sit down and enjoy his kebab. The dog attempting to grab some food will most likely get scolded by its owner for its bad behavior. The man walking his dog on the right side will likely trip over the leash by mistake. Overall, as the festival begins to wind down, all the visitors will probably start making their way home before the stalls close for the day. Let me try to describe the picture I am looking at. I see a picture of family reunion party where there are a lot of people doing various activities. In the center foreground, a woman in a purple top is seated at the main dining table, which is covered with a large variety of food, including a roasted turkey, a green salad bowl, a casserole dish, and several other dishes and condiments. On the left side of the foreground, a woman in a dark red top is standing beside the table holding a bottle of wine. A small white cat is on the floor right next to her feet. On the right, I see a man setting up the table while opening the drawer. Beside, I see 2 kids helping the man to set up the table. On the far right, a young boy in a green shirt is standing near the edge of the table holding a small box or container. In the upper left corner, near the front door, 2 people are standing together and raising their wine glasses as if making a toast. One of them is wearing a green striped sweater. Just beside them, a woman in a brown jacket is holding a baby wrapped in a blue blanket. Beside, I see an elderly woman preparing for a meal for the woman. In this picture, I think that people in urban life look busy and happy. That is all. Let me guess what's going to happen next. I think the small white cat on the floor will probably wander off to another room to look for something to play with. The woman in the purple top at the main table will likely begin serving the food to everyone once all the guests are seated, starting with the roasted turkey at the center of the table. The woman in the dark red shirt will pour herself a glass of wine and may ask if there is a different variety available. The food on the table looks so delicious that it will all be gone before the evening is over. The boy helping him may accidentally drop a plate while passing it across the table. The 2 men near the front door will put their arms around each other's shoulders. The woman holding the baby will likely hand the child back to its mother. Let me try to describe the picture I am looking at. I see a picture of playground where there are a lot of people doing various activities. In the lower left corner, an adult, possibly a teacher, is crouching down next to a small girl in a purple dress. A yellow bucket is on the ground beside them, and a few birds are pecking at the ground nearby. In the center of the scene, there is a large playground structure with a red slide. A child in a brown jacket is on the platform at the top of the slide, and two children in red and green shirts are at the bottom on the ground. On the far right, there is a set of gymnastic rings and a swing set. A girl in a teal top and purple pants is hanging from the rings, and a younger child in yellow and pink is standing right below her, looking up. On the left side of the field, a group of children are playing soccer. A black and white ball is on the grass right between them, and several children in colorful outfits are gathered around it. In the upper left background, there is a wide green field stretches across the middle of the scene. In this picture, I think that people of playground look busy and happy. That is all. It looks like several things are about to happen in this picture. I think the child at the top of the slide will probably come down the slide very shortly, but may bump into the children at the bottom. The woman feeding pigeons with a girl will probably stand up and guide the little girl toward the playground equipment. The man taking care of a kid will finally decide to take the kid to the nearest hospital. The children playing soccer will accidentally break a window with a ball and they will be scolded. The birds on the ground near the lower left corner might fly away suddenly if the children nearby get too loud or run too close to them. Let me try to describe the picture I am looking at. I see a picture of community garden where there are a lot of people doing various activities. In the center of the scene, there is a wooden picnic table where several children are gathered. A girl in a red top with glasses is sitting at the table, and a child in a pink polka dot dress is kneeling on the bench right beside her. Another child in a blue striped shirt is seated across from them. In the lower left corner, I see a dog trying to smell some flowers. Beside, I see a girl looking surprised. On the right, a boy in a red shirt is pushing a cart. Behind, I see a man in blue cap carrying a shovel and compost on the shoulder. At the back, on the left, I see a couple watering the plant. Beside, I see a woman helping a kid to plant vegetables. Beside, I see a man planting some vegetables on the garden. In this picture, I think that people of playground look busy and happy. That is all. It looks like several things are about to happen in this picture. I think the crows around the picnic table are likely to cause more disruption very soon. The children gathered at the picnic table will most likely get up and move to the garden beds to start planting, as this appears to be some kind of outdoor school gardening activity. The dog sniffing around the flowers will probably suddenly jump up and start barking at the crows. The girl who looks startled will try to calm the dog down, as its behavior is becoming disruptive. The boy eating his meal will most likely accidentally knock over the wheelbarrow. The man in the blue cap will probably rush over to help him clean up the spilled soil. The kids will eventually lose interest in gardening and start heading home. The person watering the plants will probably go to find a water source nearby to refill their watering can. The woman assisting the child will likely look for a nearby bench to take a short break. The man planting vegetables will probably go and fetch more seedlings to continue the gardening work. Let me try to describe the picture I am looking at. I see a picture of community restaurant where there are a lot of people doing various activities. At the front, on the left, I see a staff looking surprised while dropping the plates. Beside, I see a man looking upset about something and a man looking confused of something. On the right of the front, I see a boy throwing a ball to a musician. Beside, I see a woman reading the menu. At the back, on the left, I see a couple looking at the menu at the door. Beside, I see a staff serving that couple. At the back, in the middle, I see a staff holding a cake for the couple. Beside, I see a man looking happy while giving a gift to his girlfriend. On the right, I see a musician playing the music instrument. In this picture, I think that people of playground look busy and happy. That is all. It looks like several things are about to happen in this picture. The flustered waitress will probably offer a sincere apology to the customers for her mistake. The man who looks upset will most likely ask to speak with the manager to complain about the service. The man in the green suit seated with his back to the birthday table will probably turn around once everyone starts singing. The boy throwing a ball will be scolded because of the bad behavior. The woman reading a menu will call the staff to make an order. The couple near the entrance will finally decide to leave the restaurant because of the expensive menu. The staff holding a cake will return to the kitchen for some help. The staff will give the cake to the couple as a present. The man will whisper "I love you" to his girlfriend during the celebration. The musicians performing live will likely play a special song for the couple to make the evening even more memorable. Let me try to describe the picture I am looking at. I see a picture of community coffee shop where there are a lot of people doing various activities. In the center foreground, a woman with red hair is holding a plate of food, and a young child is standing right beside her. At the main counter, a staff member in a Red Owl's Cafe apron is working at the counter, cleaning or preparing something. Near the center of the counter, I can see another staff member handing a cup of coffee to a customer while wiping down the counter at the same time. On the left side of the cafe, a young man is looking after an elderly woman while pointing toward the menu to help her decide what to order. In the middle of the cafe, two women are chatting with each other over drinks. Just beside them, a staff member appears to be tidying up a nearby table and straightening the chairs. On the wall close by, there is a large menu board displaying the cafe's offerings. In this picture, I think that people of community coffee shop look busy and happy. That is all. I think several things are likely to happen next in this busy cafe. The boy will ask the staff to look for an available chair for the elderly woman. The woman holding onto the stroller will look for any available seats to have a meal with the kids. The baby playing with bubbles will be scolded because of the bad behavior. The staff giving a cup of coffee to customer will call the manager for some help because the coffee shop is busy. The women talking with each other will say goodbye soon because they are on the way. The man in the suit at the counter will probably take his drink. Find a quiet spot to sit and look over some work, as he appears to be a business professional on a lunch break. The big menu will be replaced with the new menu. Let me try to describe the picture I am looking at. I see a picture of moving where there are a lot of people doing various activities. In the background, there is a large two-story blue house with several windows. At the front door, a person in green is standing in the doorway, appearing to direct or oversee the moving activity. In the upper left area, two children are sitting on a stone wall, snacking and taking a short break from all the activity around them. In the center, a woman is making her way into the house while carrying a cardboard box. On the front left, I see two women moving boxes. At the back, in the middle, I see two men moving a sofa from a truck. At the front, on the right, I see a man holding a table leg. Beside, there are two women looking surprised because the table is broken. In this picture, I think that people of moving look busy and happy. That is all. It looks like several things are about to happen in this picture. The person standing in the doorway will probably rush over to help the woman who is struggling with the heavy boxes. The children taking a break on the stone wall will likely head off to find somewhere to play, as they seem to have lost interest in the moving activity. The woman organizing the boxes in the lower left corner will most likely carry them one by one toward the house once she has finished sealing them up. The two people unloading the sofa will probably look for a place to sit and rest once they are done, as they appear to be completely exhausted from the heavy lifting. The man sitting next to the broken table will likely apologize to the women nearby for the accident and offer to cover the cost of the damage. The woman who looks upset will probably take a moment to calm down before getting back to the move. Let me try to describe the picture I am looking at. I see a picture of cabin of an airplane where there are a lot of people doing various activities. Along both sides of the cabin, rows of blue seats are filled with passengers of various ages. Oval windows are visible along both walls of the aircraft. In the foreground on the left, a man in a yellow shirt appears to be offering his headphones to the passenger sitting next to him. Just behind him, another passenger is receiving a beverage from the flight attendant. In the center of the aisle, there is a service cart stocked with a variety of food and drinks for the passengers. On the right side of the foreground, a woman in a red sweater is holding a baby, and a bald man in a green sweater is seated right in front of her, looking straight ahead. Further back on the right, I see an elderly woman taking care of a crying baby. Just behind them, I see a man putting his yellow bag in the cabinet. At the back, in the middle, I see a cabin crew helping an elderly woman. In this picture, I think that people of moving look busy and happy. That is all. The flight attendant pushing the service cart will probably continue moving down the aisle to serve the remaining passengers. The boy trying to put on the headset will call the cabin crew for some help because the headset is not working. The service cart loaded with food and drinks will probably be completely emptied out before it reaches the back of the plane. The man who received his beverage will most likely complain to the flight attendant because he is unhappy with what was served. The elderly woman holding the baby will ask the cabin crew for some baby's meal. The man putting his yellow bag will take something out of it and then take a rest. The cabin crew waiting for the traffic will walk around to help the passengers. Let me try to describe the picture I am looking at. I see a picture of traffic accident where there are a lot of people doing various activities. In the middle of the picture, I see a multi-collision scene. A yellow car and the red truck appear to have collided directly with visible damage between them. Beside the red truck, a woman appears to be inspecting the damage to her white car. On the left side of the foreground, a man is on his phone, most likely calling for help. Just beside him, a woman is watching the accident unfold while holding a young child's hand. Nearby, another man appears to be taking notes while a woman stands next to him, possibly giving a witness statement. On the right side, a police officer is speaking with a woman, likely gathering information about the accident. In the upper right area, two men are in conversation with each other while a separate police officer is directing the flow of traffic. A bus is stuck in the traffic jam just behind them, waiting for the road to clear. In the upper left background, an ambulance is rushing toward the accident scene with its emergency lights on. In this picture, I think that people of moving look busy and nervous. That is all. It looks like several things are about to happen in this picture. The ambulance arriving from the upper left will probably pull up as close to the collision as possible. The man who was on his phone will most likely walk over to the police officer to report what he witnessed during the accident. The woman inspecting her white car will probably decide to move away from the scene as it is becoming increasingly dangerous. The man who was taking notes will likely thank the woman for her cooperation as a witness. The police officer will probably ask the drivers to move their vehicles to the side of the road. The damaged vehicles will most likely be towed away shortly, as they are blocking the flow of traffic. The woman involved in the accident will probably contact her insurance company to file a claim. The police officer directing traffic will probably radio the police station to request backup. The bus will finally decide to take a detour. The ambulance will ride the injured people to the hospital. Let me try to describe the picture I am looking at. I see a picture of a busy intersection where there are a lot of people doing various activities. In the middle left, a bare tree is standing on the sidewalk and a pink balloon is tied to one of its branches. Just beside the tree, two young children are standing close together. In the center of the scene, a young man in a red hoodie is crossing the street while looking down at his phone. A basketball is rolling across the road just ahead of him. In the center, a boy is running after a basketball that is bouncing across the road. In the lower left foreground, a young couple is walking together near the tree, enjoying each other's company. In the upper left background, a person is taking their dog for a walk on a leash. Just beside them, an elderly couple is walking hand in hand, each leaning on a cane for support. On the upper right, some fruits are on display at an outdoor stand. Beside the stand, a pink car is parked along the street. In this picture, I think that people of moving look busy and happy. That is all. It looks like several things are about to happen in this picture. The girl pointing at the balloon will probably ask a nearby adult to help retrieve it. The man nearby will most likely consider climbing up the tree to catch the balloon, even though it may not be the safest idea. The man rushing toward the boy will probably grab the child by the hand and ask if he is okay, as the boy was running dangerously close to the moving traffic. The boy chasing the basketball will most likely get scolded by a nearby adult for running onto the road so carelessly. The couple sitting happily near the tree will probably head over to a well-known local restaurant for a meal once they are ready to leave. The woman walking her dog will likely trip over the leash by accident. The elderly couple leaning on their canes will probably stop at a nearby coffee shop to rest their feet. The fruits on display at the outdoor stand will most likely sell out very quickly, as they look extremely fresh and appealing. The pink car parked on the street will probably get towed away for blocking traffic if the owner does not return soon. Let me try to describe the picture I am looking at. I see a picture of a busy intersection where there are a lot of people doing various activities. I can see a beautiful and lively city park on a sunny day. On the left side of the scene, a young woman in a blue dress is walking along the path while looking at her phone. Just beside her, an elderly couple is standing together. In the lower left foreground, a girl in a teal outfit is walking a large brown dog on a leash along the path. Just beside him, a woman in a purple dress is walking hand in hand with a young girl in a blue dress. There are two benches and one of the benches. On the right-hand side, there are two people. I think they're a couple, because they are quite close to each other. But they are facing opposite directions. One man is looking at his cell phone, and the woman is reading. In the center of the scene, a young woman in a pink dress is seated on a bench nearby, and a baby stroller is parked right beside her. A boy on a scooter is making his way along the path. Behind the bench, a woman is meditating on the ground. It looks like several things are about to happen in this picture. I think the boy walking the dog in the foreground will probably have some difficulty controlling the dog if it spots the frisbee or the other dog in the background, as large dogs can be hard to manage when they get excited. The man throwing the frisbee will most likely continue playing with his dog, but the frisbee could land too far away and roll onto the path, potentially getting in the way of the boy on the scooter. The boy on the scooter in the center will probably need to slow down or swerve to avoid the other people on the path, as it is getting quite crowded. The elderly couple on the left will probably find a nearby bench to sit down and rest, as the man appears to be relying heavily on his cane for support. The couple sitting on the bench on the right will likely stay and enjoy the peaceful atmosphere for a while longer before heading home. The jogger in orange on the right will probably continue along the path and complete her run around the park.